Find it? Okay, so this is constant of proportionality. We talked about it last week. It's the same thing as unit rate, is the same thing as the distance formula. It is all the same thing. Okay? Sometimes they give you a chart like this or a table. And they want you to figure out the constant of proportionality. So you write the formula. What is the formula? K equals Y divided by X. And then you look right here and you're like, no, I don't think so, right? Nobody wants to deal with that. Do you have to? No, you can use these, right? So what is your Y? 6. See right here, Y, 6. What is your X? 10. That is a fraction, okay? Also called a ratio. You can either make it into a decimal if you want, or you can just simplify it. What can I divide them both by?
2.
Can divide them both by 2. What's 6 divided by 2? 3. And 10 divided by 2?
5.
That's the answer. 3/5. Or you could have put 0.6. 6/10. Because that's what that says.
Okay.
Is everybody with me? It doesn't matter if the big number is the Y or the little number is the Y. Whatever the Y is, that's what goes on top. Okay? Got me? Questions over that? So I think number 4 was pretty much easier than that. What was it? 7. Good. Okay, so let's look at number 7. I want to look at number 7 because this is just like the IXL that we did on Friday for our test grade, remember? We're going to do more of this today. We're going to kind of switch it up and do things backwards and forwards in all sorts of ways today. So I want to start here. Your base is always going to be to write a proportion if you don't know what to do. An ice cream truck driver determined he had made $9.36 after selling 8 ice cream bars. Using the equation y equals k times x. How much would he have earned if he sold 9 bars? You do not have to do this. I believe I've told you that. You can always write a proportion. Did you write a proportion?
Yes.
What are your words?
Money and ice cream.
What do you say, Maddie? Money and
Ice cream.
ice cream. Perfect. So then you wrote your proportion lines just like we did Friday on the IXL, right? And what's your money?
$9.86.
For how many bars?
7.
8. And then what's it asking you about?
How much he's earning if he stole 9 bars?
So where does the 9 go?
On top.
On the bottom. Why does it go on the bottom?
Bar.
Because it's ice cream. It's ice cream bars, right? So you can solve this the way you know how, which is 8 times x is 8x. And then you do 936 times 9. What'd you get, Maddie?
84.24.
84.24. What do you do from here? Perfect. This all should sound very familiar to you, does it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, we've been doing it all year, like since it was like the second thing we started doing. Silas, do you have this written on your paper? When you don't do your homework, you really, really, really need to write it down when I write it down. You're not even on the right page, dude. So now we build the house, and who lives in it?
The
84.24.
Top. So you put your decimal up here, and that's 1. 8 into 4
Yeah.
won't go, so you bring down the 2. 8 into 2, that's 40. Then break down the 4, you get 3. I got $10.53 for 9 bars. Is there any other way to do that?
Yeah. No.
How?
I was gonna say I got it wrong because I got 10.40.
You got what?
I got $10.40 because I used K equals Y over X instead.
Yeah, but what'd you use for Y and X?
I used $9.36 and for the Y, and then for the X, I used the 9.
Yeah, so you could use that, but you would need to use the 8 because those are the two that go together.
Okay.
So what you would do in that situation is you could also take $9.36 and divide it by 8. That's going to give you the price of 1, right? And then what would you do with that price to figure out for 9? would add it to figure out for 9. If you get the price of 1, how do you figure out what it is for 9 of them?
Multiply.
Do what?
Multiply.
That's right. You'd multiply it times 9. So you could theoretically divide this by 8, get an answer, and then multiply that times 9. Would give you the same exact answer. But you divide it by 9, so that kind of,
Okay, I just
perfect. Let's look. What'd you get for number 8?
21.2.
Everybody get $21.25?
I did.
Good. Let's look at number 9. Wow, stuff is all off here. Number 9. Where's Claude? He was on there. He's not there now.
It's not even in the little black spot.
The equation y equals kx shows you would make $45.04 for recycling 8 pounds of cans. How much would you make if you recycled 6 pounds? Now I would write a proportion. Okay, what are your words? Pounds and money. Or money over pounds, it doesn't matter. And what is this? 8 over,
$45.04.
perfect, and then what goes here?
6.
6, and that's your x. Okay, so what'd you get?
$33.78.
$33.78. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to do it using this. This, in my opinion, is harder because you have to know which of these numbers goes where. Okay, it doesn't tell you this one's the y, but I know because I'm the math teacher, but you may not. So if I use this, I know that this is 45.04, and then the constant is what I don't know, 8 pounds. So then I would divide both sides by 8. You with me? And so my constant would be $5.63. That is for 1 pound. Y'all don't have to write this down. I'm just showing you. Okay, that is for 1 pound. Are you with me? That's how I find out for 1 pound. So what do I do to find out for 6 pounds? You'd multiply that by 6. You got me? Okay. That's you with me? That's how you would do it the other way. I prefer to use proportion just because it's what you already know. Instead of having to teach you, you to learn this and use what you know to make it a little bit simpler. Okay, y'all can put that away. We are going to move on. More of the same. Who wants to hand it out? Okay. So this is, listen to me, more of the same. Unit rate is so tricky to a lot of people because there's so many different ways to do it. Okay? There are so many different ways to do it. But I want everybody to write your name on the top right of this paper and then put your pencil down. Don't look at me, look at the board. Do not make this hard. Okay? Don't look at your shirt. Don't look. Everybody look at the board and pay attention. Andrea, I'm going to read it and I want you to read it silently to yourself. Andrea rents a bike for a day. The rental charges can be determined by the equation R equals 0.5D, where R is the rental charges and D is the number of days she rents a bike. What is the rental charge for 6 days? Now, a lot of you see something like this, you're like, oh, proportion. We write proportions to figure out what?
The equation.
The equation. What do you have here?
R equals
You have the
equation.
equation. Do you need to write a proportion?
No.
No. They give it to you. Okay? This is also y equals k times x. It was in that last one that we did. But they were so kind here, they gave you the letters R and D.
That's nice.
Okay? So they tell you what everything is. You do not have to write a proportion. Just watch. So if I have R equals 0.5 D, which I just wrote down what they wrote down, right? R stands for what?
Rental.
D stands for
Days.
days. What information do they give you? What are they asking for?
6 days.
What are they asking for? The rental charge. What do they give you?
6 days.
The day. So if I were to rewrite this, where do I put the 6?
D.
Where the D is, right? So I'm going to rewrite R equals 0.5 times 6. That's it. That's it. What's the answer?
30.
30.
It's not 30.
Point.
It's 3. There's a decimal.
Easy. I can get 3.
Because 6 times 5 is 30 with the decimal.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, that is it. That is the answer. That is what it costs for 6 days.
That's easy, man.
Okay? Now you can write it down. It's about to get easier. If I wrote it down, you write it down.
Yes, ma'am.
Why are you not writing it down? Because you wrote when I told you not to? Everybody got it? Okay. So look at number 2. This one is one that likes to confuse last class, but I think that y'all are not going to be confused. So put your pencils down and watch. In a laboratory, scientists are performing chemical reactions. The amount of product formed by a reaction can be determined by the equation P equals 0.25R, where P is the product and R is the amount of reactants used. Find the constant of proportionality. I'm going to write, here's your equation, okay? I'm going to write the answer, and I want you to tell me if you can figure out how I did that.
Wait, I got this.
What is it, Anthony?
It's only looking for 1.
The constant of proportionality is the number that you are multiplying by. In this equation right here, what are we multiplying by? 0.25. We're multiplying the amount of reactants times 0.25. Allison, sit up. Okay? Guys, last Friday we learned a lot with IXL. It's a direct result of not paying attention in class. Some of you got it, some of you didn't. It was solving proportions. We've been doing it since September. Okay? Pay attention. The constant of proportionality is the number that you're multiplying by. It's the one that doesn't change. So if I used 1 reactant, I would multiply it times 1. If I used 400 reactants, I would multiply it times 400. Okay? That's the answer. It's the number in front of the variable. That's it. That's it. That's the answer. Write down. Don't make it hard. Okay, on to number 3. I'm going to read it, and you read it silently to yourself. In a boat shop, the number of boats constructed can be determined by the equation B equals 0.04W, where B is the number of boats and W is the number of wooden logs used. If the wood shop has constructed 76 boats, how many wooden logs have they used? Do they give me the equation? Yes. What does B stand for?
Boats.
Boats. What does W stand for?
Wooden logs.
Wooden logs. What other information do they give me?
76 boats.
So where, if I were to rewrite this, do you think the 76 goes? Where the B is or where the W is? Where the B is. Because boats. 76 equals 0.04 what?
W.
W. What is the constant? 0.04. It's the number in front that you are multiplying the thing by. Okay, this is what never changes. So now, how do we solve this? By? Why 0.04? It's a number in front of the variable. Okay, you guys can start writing. I'm going to make my little house over here and let you catch up with me. Who lives in the house? So now I'm going to write this down, and then you are going to reach back to 4th grade and tell me what to do. Can you have a decimal in the divisor? Move it to the end, right? How many places? So if I move it 2 on the outside, where is the decimal in 76? It's right here, right? 1, 2. Put it right there. Add your 2 zeros. Now we're going to work the problem. This is now 4 into 7.
One.
Bring down the 6.
9.
4 into 36. 9. What do I do with these 2 zeros? Yeah, add them right there. So how many wooden logs are they going to use for their 76 boats? Yeah, does that make sense that they're going to use almost 2,000 wooden logs for 76 boats?
Yes.
Yeah. It takes a lot of wood to build a boat, right?
Yes.
Awesome. Look at number 4. Julie sells fresh apples at the farmer's market for $5 per pound. If you have $28, how many pounds of apples can you purchase? Is there an equation here? No. So what do you have to do? Write a proportion. What does this mean?
Per pound.
Yeah, what does it mean?
1 pound.
1 pound. So what are our words?
Pounds.
Pounds and monies, right? And 1 pound costs how much?
$5.
$5. And we want to know about what?
28
28 what?
dollars.
Where does that go? So now what? What's 5 times x? And 1 times 28? Do you now see that you have an equation? Do you know how to solve that? Yeah, we're not going to do it. Don't worry about it. All right. So circle number 5, 6, 7, and 8 on that page. I can't believe I didn't number these pages. I'm losing my mind. And then turn the page to where it says 7.4D financial literacy. Listen to me. We have done this before. This year. We have done it this year. What's it say? Mark up, mark down, tax, and we have done it this year. If something like example 1 says the cost of a sled and the markup is 90%, how do I find the markup? Proportion. What if it said, what's the new price? What would you do with a markup? What'd you say? Yes. What? Let's use math words to say raise it up. What would you do? You would add it. So you're going to find the markup using what? A proportion. So let's do that. This should not be new to anybody. What goes in this proportion right here? 100. What goes on top of it? 90. Where does the 98 go? And I'll help you with the math. You're going to cross multiply. 100x equals 78820, I believe. Now what?
Divide by 100.
What's our trick to do that?
I'll mark out the zeros.
No.
Move the decimal.
Move the decimal 2 places to the.
Left.
So what is our markup?
$88.20.
$88.20. If I said what is the new price, what would we do with $88.20?
Add it back.
You would add it back to what?
98.
To 98.
$98.
Okay? Don't make it hard. We've done it this year. Look at the next one. Cost of a comic book is what?
$3.50.
$3.50. The markup is 20%. This one we're going to find the new price. And I'm just saying we are because I just made it up and I'm in charge. How do we find 20%?
Make a proportion.
This is 100. What goes above it?
20.
Where does the 350 go?
Bottom.
Can I put 3.5?
Yes.
Yeah, it just makes it a little bit easier. And again, I'm going to help you with the math. What's 100 times x? And this equals 70. Okay? I think. Or is it just a 7? It's 70.
60, 70.
Now what?
Divide by 100.
Good. How do we divide by 100?
Move it 2 places to the left.
So let me ask you a question. That's 0.7 or 0.70. That is 70 cents. Does that make sense as a markup on $3.50? Yeah, it does. Right? How do we find the new price?
Add it
You're
back.
gonna add it. 2, 3, 50. $4.20. Does it make sense that it's $4.20 for a comic book? Yes. We have done this year. This year. Okay? Example 2 says the original price of concert tickets is $110, but it is a discount of 21%. What's your plan if I said find the new price?
You have to find the discount first and then subtract it.
Perfect. How do we find the discount?
Proportion.
We're just going to find the discount here. What goes above the 100?
41.
And here?
110.
Good. I'll do the math for you. Maybe. I got 100x equals 2,310. Oops. Now we do what?
Divide by 100.
And what's our trick to do that?
Move it 2 places to the left.
2 places to the left. How much is the discount?
$23.10.
Does that make sense for a 21% off of 110?
Yes.
Yes. And if I said the new price, you would subtract. Good. Let's look at example 3. This one. And we got to make sure we're reading. Find the percent of markup if the cost is $70 and the markup is $4. What is it asking you to find?
The markup,
The percent. How much is the markup?
$4.
$4. What do you think you write?
A proportion.
And this is,
100.
what goes above the 100?
X.
There you go. What's the price?
$70.
And the markup?
$4.
4. Do you know how to solve that?
Proportion.
Yep, you get 70. X equals what?
400.
Good. Do you know what to do from there? Good. I'm not going to ask you to do it. I believe you know what to do. Okay? My thing is you getting the proportion correct. All right, turn the page. Example 4. The cost price of a book is $8. Find the selling price of the book if the store's markup is 36%. What are we going to write?
A proportion.
What goes above the 100?
36.
This is
8.
good. Cross multiply 100x equals, I think it's 288. Now what? So what is the markup?
$2.88.
Is that the answer?
No,
No. What's it asking you to find?
the
Selling price. They are not selling it for 288. What are they selling it for? So what?
1088.
You sell it back to the $8, which gives you how much? $10.88. Is everybody catching on? Are we pretty? We've done this year. This should not be too hard. That's why I'm going super fast. Yes?
I'm getting it.
So look at number 5. Find the markup if the cost of an article is $152 and the markup is 75%. Are you going to add this one back?
No,
No, why not?
because this is asking for more.
It's asking for the markup. Okay? What's the proportion look like?
100 or 75 over 100, and then 102 over X.
Is it 152 on top?
No bottom.
I'm not gonna make you solve that. Just write the proportion. We are gonna do example 6. The regular price of a Space Invader game is $52, but it is on sale. The discount is $13. What percent discount is this? What's it asking you to find?
The discount.
The percent, right? What do you write?
A proportion.
What goes above 100?
Uh,
Good. And beside it? And above it? Perfect. Is everybody with me?
Yes.
So what's our equation?
52X.
Equals 13,000.
I think it's 1,300.
Oh, I understand.
I'm not going to make you divide that out. Is everybody with me? Are we all good? All right, look at the practice. The cost of a toy is $36 and the markup is 25%. Find the markup on the cost of the toy. Are you going to be adding it back?
No.
No. Write a proportion. This is 100. What goes above the 100?
25.
What goes next to the 100?
Basic.
And what goes above that? Good. So if I cross multiply, I'm going to write it over here. 100x, and I'll help you with the math. $900. That's not too hard, is it?
No.
What do you do?
Divide by 100.
So what does x equal?
$9.
$9. The markup is $9. Good, number 2. Find the selling price of a dress if the cost price of the dress is $23 and the markup is 25%. What's your plan here? Yes, but how? Write a proportion, and then what are you going to do?
Add it back.
You're going to add it back. Why are you going to add it back?
Because it's the selling price.
Because it's a markup and it's asking you for the selling price. So first thing,
Make a proportion.
proportion. This is 100. This is 25. This is 23.
And then the top X.
So I cross multiply. I get 100x. Equals 575. Then what?
Divide by 100.
And that's going to give us
$5.75.
$5.75. How do we find the new price?
You gotta add it back.
Add it back to what?
$23.
Good. Perfect. Is everybody with me on how we're doing this? We've done this already once this year. It should be pretty simple. Okay, your assignment is going to be the you do. There are 8 questions on that, and then the 4 questions on that other page that you circled. You have time right now. You have time right now to start. It is due tomorrow when you walk in the door.
The first 8.
The ones I told you to circle, and then the you do section. I don't know how to be more clear on that. You turn to where it says you do right here. There are 8 questions, and then the ones that I ask you to circle on the other page right here, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Starting with Timothy.